Okay, welcome back to another episode 7 of Gents Talking Current Events. I'm Paul, this is my brother Joe, and our nephew James. Once again, like I always try to say, we're just three amateur guys talking about some of the current events going on in the country and the world. So, if you like us, great. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on Instagram. We are actively trying to boycott TikTok because TikTok, for some reason, keeps restricting us for hate speech. I don't know what we're hating. And if you get offended, please still comment, like, and subscribe. It's even better if you're offended.
Since this last time we recorded, which was 2 weeks, we took a little hiatus. We had quite a bit of just good comments that came through, and people were responding.
And I think we're getting real close to the 1,000 subscribers.
Nope.
No?
I don't know why you're so adamant about saying we're close. From last episode, when you had this little mix-up, we were at 16 subscribers.
We needed 16 more to
No. We were at 16 subscribers. We are now at 27 subscribers. 27, not 27 till 1,000. We are at 27,000. Oh, wait. Whoa.
27.
27.
We're growing.
Yeah.
270.
No, 27.
Exponentially.
Yes. You can say that.
So please, keep subscribing.
Yeah.
If you have already subscribed, form another account on YouTube and subscribe again. All right. Hey, I need to light my cigar.
Oh, you know what? That's a good point. And speaking of subscribers, we are becoming a little bit famous here.
Oh,
one of our subscribers, Ben, from United Discount, sent us this beautiful and unique Statue of Liberty lighter. So he said, he said, hold on.
It's not that.
Isn't even gonna work.
Wait a minute. Let's get it to work. Oh, it just died on me.
Damn it.
You gotta be kidding me. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Easy.
There
Gentle.
you got it. Oh, it's out.
No, it's still going. It was going. Oh, that is funny.
Yep.
This is the longest cigar lighting
I love it.
in history.
That thing is pretty cool. There we go.
I did not know that it was a cigar. I thought that was just a funny little gag you were bringing.
Let me see if I could do this.
So he said that he saw our little, with your brother here,
Oh, yeah.
and the geese flew over,
Uh-huh.
and he said eagles, and they were geese,
Yeah.
and then we said America.
Yeah.
And when he was loading their shells and putting those online, so basically United Discount is a liquidation and bulk sales company offering customers access to quality products at unbelievable prices. Their inventory is always changing. They got all kinds of cool things. You should check them out, United Discount. And thank you again, Ben. And their warehouse is over in Cleveland, and they have an eBay
So this is our
store.
first sponsored episode.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Wow, Joe, we did not know we were having that.
So we're getting there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. America.
Yeah, right. America, Statue of Liberty later. That's really cool. Now we have to light every single one of our
That
cigars.
was perfect. I like it. Thank you, Ben.
That's great. Well, what are we talking about
All right,
today?
let's get into it. We got a few topics. We can talk about Cracker Barrel and
Well, I think first
Let's
we
talk
should talk
about-
about.
DC.
And you, last episode, you were really heated. It's almost as if Trump watched our
I think
podcast.
Trump is. I mean, I send him all of our episodes.
He's a subscriber.
Him and I text once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him that I was there last spring. And did I not tell you guys that it was
The grounds were nasty. You said the grounds were nasty.
the pool was nasty? It's not so
Yeah.
reflective. And
There's crime. There's
I have some
homelessness.
videos that you can post. Like I'm walking down the sidewalk on a main street, and they got this rickety like plastic fence up for some reason, and you can tell that it's been up. You know, maybe it was a temporary fence at one point, but it was up for a while because the weeds were literally growing on both sides of it, really tall.
Really?
Just a lot of that area just needed to get cleaned up. Now, as for crime, we didn't experience any crime when we were there, but
Let me see that later again.
it sounds as if crime kind of got a little bit out of control there.
And this was not one thing that I looked up a lot, but I did hear on a news radio channel that I listen to that if Washington D.C. were to become like its own state, it's obviously federalized and all that stuff, but if it was to become its own state, it would have one of the highest crime rates in the country as a city.
What is Washington D.C.?
So Washington D.C. is just
Is it
like
a city, or is it?
So it is a city because you can go to the city of Washington
Yes.
D.C. But essentially, what it is it's a federalized, meaning that in a sense the federal government controls it, runs it, operates it with people that representing it. But they're not necessarily a state in reference to where they have power within elections for presidents and for there's no seats within the within Washington D.C. for
So they have a mayor.
I don't know. I'm not sure if they have a mayor. I don't believe they do. So
because everyone was outraged that he was bringing in the National Guard to clean things up.
Which it is his right. It is in the Constitution that he has the ability to federalize, quote unquote, refederalize, because it was unfederalized in a sense. It's all confusing. And he's able to do that.
But only Washington D.C.
Mm-hmm. And there's one other.
But he's talking about possibly expanding this to other cities.
Which, with supposedly,
he said he would like to go to Chicago next.
Supposedly, crime has dropped dramatically. Like homicides.
Went
down. You have that
in Washington D.C.
Yeah, can I have that later?
I mean, of course, every.
Thank you. Hopefully it's not just a fluke, but I read, and do you have that stat right now?
So when I found this information, it was 7 days of the federal guard and stuff being in there and him cleaning it up. But they said that it had been the first time in a very long time that DC had gone 7 days without a homicide.
Wow,
which is crazy.
7 days.
Just
you
7
would
days.
You would hope and imagine that you're not having a homicide. Like you would be like, when you told me that earlier, I was like, wait, that's a record. Like that's a good thing.
Wait, how many people are in DC?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
That's a pretty high percentage of people. If like every 7 days they have another homicide.
But that's the thing, is that's why they're saying that it would be one of the highest crime rate cities because of the size and because of the population compared to other cities. It would have
per capita, maybe.
Per capita, it would have the highest crime rate. One of the highest crime rates, and it's not good. It's like you mentioned last episode. It's the nation's capital. It should be a gem.
I mean, like when he said that the crime was high and that we need to clean it up, everyone was coming out. There's nothing wrong with Washington, D.C. It's safe. But I guess it had, for cities, the fourth highest homicide rate out of the country. And so now in the 7 days, carjackings were down 83%, robberies were down 43%, car theft down 21%, and just overall violent crime down 22%.
I mean, we spend a lot of money sending it to a lot of other places. Yes. Like, why not just drop a little bit more money into major problem areas and major problem cities to have more,
Oh, so you're not just talking Washington D.C.
I'm just talking, in general. Like,
I mean, I don't know what the law is about him using the National Guard to go into Chicago.
But I don't mean like the National Guard.
Yeah.
But can't we say
pump a bunch of money into the
you're sending billions and billions of dollars all over the place to everybody else? Like you take care of.
But we had that big push when George Floyd, that whole thing with George Floyd, everyone wanted to defund the police, go without police. It's never going to work.
The current mayor that's running for the Democratic Party is 100% adamant that he wants to defund the police, and he wants to have like a pseudo. Basically, it's a neighborhood
civilian,
watch. Neighborhood watch. It's not going to work. Crime would go, especially in New York. Like crime would just go nuts.
Well, in Washington D.C., the law was at one time, I think, 18 and older. If you stole a car, you got in trouble. Mm-hmm. But then they started realizing that these like groups of people were using 16 and 17-year-olds, so they lowered it
to get around that.
Yes.
Try you as an adult?
Yes. So then they moved it to 16 and up. What do? They started using 13, 14, 15-year-olds to rob cars.
What?
Yeah.
A 13-year-old?
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, I just don't know why we accept the fact that cities have to have, or just do have, high crime. And I don't think we realize it. We live in Medina, south of Cleveland, but I think in Cleveland, it's a common occurrence for someone to be shot and for something bad to
Is
be
it just
happening.
because there's a
It's
higher
more dense.
and that's just the reason? Like if you were to look, but I don't know, we have to look at the statistics, but, or is it just because in a city, it just breeds that type of behavior?
Well, I mean, I think when you put everyone close together, all the
Crazies come out.
Well, I went down there a couple years ago and spent just a night in Cleveland with my wife, and I'm telling you, there was no that night in particular. You know, it's one thing we kind of complain that to go to Cleveland, you have to the traffic or find parking and stuff, and I
everything.
could deal with all that and enjoy a nice dinner downtown. And we spent the night down there, but everywhere we walked, because we had our hotel, we could walk to our thing, we could go to Tower City and everything like that. We were bothered by people. People asking us for money, people asking us, "Oh, are you guys new to the city? We'll take you around, we'll show you around." Just like
But they can tell.
always being bothered, always being like solicited for something. You know, it's just, but then in Washington, D.C., and when I was there in last spring, tried to pick a nice area close to things so we could walk in a nice hotel. And when we got there, you know, literally right across the street from the hotel was this park, and it was just filled with tents and homeless people. And I get it. People
But isn't Trump doing something about that
well,
now?
he cleaned it all out. So some people are bothered by that, but I think
what
what he's
respect?
in like, what do you do with them? And like, they literally, I saw a video of them with garbage trucks there, and they were just dragging tents and stuff and just throwing them away.
Oof.
So,
But you have to do something.
but yeah, I mean, I think that's all. Another thing is like I think they were offering them to go to like rehab centers if they have drug problems, you know, alcoholic problems, or even mental health, or they could go to a shelter.
Get housing.
Yes. I mean,
To me, that money is better spent to take care of those problems, to clean up the area, support the people that are maybe in need, than just shoveling money to all these other countries and all these other things. And do we really even know the money makes it to where it's going?
It's very good. That's the whole thing with Doge.
Could somebody just say, "Hey, I'm going to donate, you know, whatever, and we're sending a check for $1 billion over here"? Well, whose hands is it going to, and where does it really get?
who's it getting filtered?
but to that
through?
point, Elon was being interviewed by somebody, and he said, "I can't really talk or dive too much into the corruption. I'm telling you, it's rampant.
What is?
The corruption in government with money, with Doge." He's like, "I can't go too far." He's like, "Because I'm afraid for my life."
Wow.
Like, because it's that bad.
I have a few like particular things that I don't know how you know, donate. I don't really say donate, you know, but I support certain things, you know, and a few of the things that I support that I send money to, I know it's going like literally to the couple sources. You know, one of them's through our church that they're doing, you know, a beautiful thing. And I know where that's going. I know that it's helping families. I know it's taking care of
Because you know
things.
the people. You know every
Yes.
person that's
So
in
I
that
feel like
tier.
if I give that particular money to somebody, then it's going to be going to the source, as opposed to other things you don't know. And where does it really go? And I'm not talking, you know, my little money versus,
of course.
you know, billions of dollars. I just think that I think, you know, closer to home and taking care of that type of scenario. And like you said, I was shocked when
I
you
was
told
telling me that.
I had not been there to see that. So I was like, really? Like, it's really not clean. It's really bad. And the
Right.
grass is tall and the weeds are growing. Like, it doesn't make, like, that should be
Like the gem. It should
anybody
be
from
yes.
the United States that goes there to visit should see something beautiful.
And then-
Anyone coming from another country that goes there to
Right,
visit should
exactly.
see something
And
beautiful.
just
I
like the
kept-
Statue of Liberty.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like this, for a long time, this is what people saw when they came into the country. This needed to look pristine. The area needed to look pristine. The water needed to, you know, you should, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really make a big difference, but it does because it's what we're proud of. But you're saying he's now wanting to try to go into other
That's what
cities?
I heard him saying, that he would like to go to other cities, Chicago, possibly New York, LA, and clean things up. When it comes to the homeless thing, that's a touchy subject. And with our church a few years back, I probably would go once a month.
I did it a couple times with you.
Yeah,
It's hard.
Yeah, for like a good 1.5 years, 2 years to Akron, and like just we would show up and try to help the homeless, give them food, give them some blankets, give them clothing. And we weren't just finding people on the streets. We were actually finding their tents and where they lived. But homelessness, this is just my statistic. I would say less than 5% of homelessness is a fact of not having a home. And typically when someone's down on their luck and they lose a job or something like that, they have someplace else to go. They have a shelter they can go to. And if they happen to live in a tent, it's a very short period of time. But the homelessness that you see in these cities that's constant, it's based on these people are either alcoholics and they cannot sustain jobs, they can't just function normally in life, or drugs is a big thing, or there is some kind of, a mental thing going on. It was terrible. And I would leave there every time thinking to myself, have I done anything good, or did I just make it more comfortable for them to be in this situation? And one of the couples that we would see, and regularly or fairly regularly, they, between the two of them, had 5 kids.
What?
That were
were living with them?
No. Were being raised by their grandparents, because those two, and they admitted to it, had a drug addiction so bad that they just withdrew from life, and they were living in a tent underneath a bridge. And so it's just, there's got to be a way to help them. And I'm hoping that, I think it's a good thing that Trump is cleaning that stuff up, but I also hope that he is providing, or we are providing, some kind of help.
Rehabilitate.
Yes.
Just like
but the problem also, like with there's homeless shelters in these cities, but usually if you want to go to this homeless shelter and live in this homeless shelter and get food, you have to not be drinking or on drugs. And
that's difficult.
And
for a lot of people.
until a person is willing to be like, I'm going to stop this. And you would think that if you're living in a tent under a bridge and you're not having your kids with you, that should be enough.
I don't even want to live in a tent over a weekend.
I know, you don't like camping. Right. So I think it's, and the citizens of, from what I understand, the citizens of Washington, D.C. are happy. It seems to be mostly outsiders that are bothered that Trump is using federal stuff.
It's not like he's walking through and arresting people. They're
cracking down on crime.
Yeah,
and
they're actually punishing the criminals. Correct.
But just like nothing changed at our southern border.
Yes.
The wall.
The only thing
no more wall.
The only thing that has changed in the president's office, they painted it black.
Well, yes. And maybe we put more security down at the border, but border crossings, like we talked about, are down, like 100 coming across a month, as opposed to hundreds of thousands of coming across the border.
Just
because of the image of he's cracking down, we're deporting people. If you
get across, you're going back.
You're going to go back. And the funny thing is that he has not even deported as many people as Obama deported. Mm-hmm. It's just the media has made a big spectacle of it. He talks about it.
And he's also deported people in different ways. He has the self-deportation.
Yes.
They give $1,000. It's an app you download on your phone, which is to me was just ironic that you come over from another country to get a better life. You're able to get a phone. I guess everybody has a phone nowadays, but you download the app that you show that you're in this location. You show your identity. You go to your country of origin. Your phone knows it's you by face recognition and stuff like that, I think. And it knows that you're in that country. $1,000 is given to you. And they were even offering flights and stuff like that. But
so basically back and give them $1,000.
Yes, that was because it's cheaper. It's cheaper to do that than to have to
find
them and round them up and fly them back and stuff like that. And it's not been a couple hundred people, a couple thousand people, a couple 100,000 people. I think the conservative estimate was 1.2 to 1.6 have taken advantage of that.
They've gone back. They use the app. They get paid.
Yeah, and I think they're saying as high as 2 million people have done that. And not all of them are 100% illegal immigrants, but some people that maybe have their green cards that weren't U.S. citizens in that moment have even taken advantage of that per se. Now, if you think about that, they were saying that a conservative estimate for how many illegal immigrants were in the United States was 16 million when Trump took office. So that means within however many months, 6 months, just through self-deportation, he was able to eliminate 10%. I mean, that's
Yeah, I haven't looked at any of the numbers or anything like that. I did hear about that program. I didn't
Well,
know
100
that it was an app.
for $1,000 times a million people, that's $1 billion.
But I think they were saying that, like, at the end of the day, if you were going to go and deport all these people, it would cost three,
So much, yeah,
four
yeah.
times more than that if they were just to give them $1,000.
They have to find them. They have to put them in a detention center and
Yeah.
figure out where they go and send them back.
I think so. The Biden administration was saying we need to pass laws, we need to do all this stuff to be able to lock up, stop the
yes.
no,
Everyone has been saying that for years.
for years, and the fact that Trump just did one, basically not really one thing, but he did one thing, and that was crack down on the law that was instituted by the United States, and it eliminated it. Was just amazing, and that too hopefully will help with homelessness, because if you're saying that drugs are a big issue, a lot of drugs are being pushed through the border. So if we're able to crack down on illegal immigration, we're able to crack down on illegal drugs, that will hopefully start to diminish the amount that's coming into the country, diminish the amount that people are able to get. And then it could, you either can't get the drugs, or no one's going to become addicted to the drugs, and then your homelessness might go down. Like it's all connected in a sense. Now, if I can't speak to Chicago, but if we're close to Cleveland, we're Cleveland everything. If he said that he was going to go do this to Cleveland, would you be for it?
I mean, I guess there has to be a legal way of.
Or
doing
let's
it.
say that he was like, he's not going to do the National Guard, but he's going to talk to the mayor of Cleveland.
I think if they were to open up more funding for, sure, why not, to crack down, and I think a bigger police presence in cities would obviously crack down on crime.
I mean, how could it hurt?
Yeah.
And
I mean, I don't know what in Rome, Italy. I went on vacation there. I don't know what their crime rate is, and so I could be completely wrong. And not that I would want this necessarily in the United States, but you walk around Rome, they have like military or police officers standing in areas
With a lot of presence.
with rifles.
but it's also
With rifles,
shoot.
they're holding rifles. They have rifles over their shoulders.
But you also are dealing with a lot more history in reference to monuments, and someone's going to go in to face something. They have to be able to get to it.
But on the other side, some people would say that's like a police state. Do we really want to go that route? But I mean, I don't know.
Listen, I obey the laws.
I don't do. Yeah,
I don't do anything that I'm not supposed to. I'm not going downtown looking for trouble. I go downtown to like enjoy an evening, or like you said, dinner, or go to a sporting event. I would just like it to be safe. I'd like my family to feel safe. I don't want to take my mom.
I don't want to have to
someone.
look behind my back.
Yeah,
Right.
and I'm telling you that.
And we did in Washington, D.C. We walked down, Isabella and I, we walked down when it was still light out. A good walk. It was probably 10 minutes to go to a restaurant that we wanted to go to. And we ate, and when we left, it was dark. And so we're walking down the sidewalk, and there was two guys that coming this way, and then they tailed back around the street, and then they were following us for a little bit. And maybe they just turned around.
Yeah.
And maybe it was innocent, but for me, I was on heightened,
You're being a dad. You're got your daughter. You're doing your. I would have done the same thing if I had worn an Owen.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's bad to crack down on the crime and clean up the city. And now he's talking about like what I was talking about. He literally said yesterday that he's going to clean up all the parks and he's going to clean up all the grass. And he made a comment. He goes, "The grass seems like it died here 40 years ago." He goes.
Well, he owns a lot of golf courses.
Yes, he said, "I'm going to put sprinkler systems in."
And he goes, "I know grass. I own golf courses. I'm going to take care." Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, "I'm good with grass." It was funny. You know how he is. It's the best. It's the biggest. It's the huge. It's going to be huge. But
to that point, and
good,
I think,
because it should get cleaned up.
Yeah. No, I'm like, it's again, if Trump's listening to this right now, which we know he is, you send it to him.
I send it to him. I will send it.
We love it. Keep doing it. Keep going, because and everybody's like saying it's so negative, it's so bad. What is actually so bad? They're saying that he's being a dictator. He's using his power. Why wouldn't you want crime to go down? Why wouldn't you want homelessness to be maintained? Why wouldn't you want things to be taken care of?
And he's doing it all within the law. If he wasn't, then he would get in trouble for it. And second, he's the only president, I think, or politician that is doing exactly what he campaigned. He campaigns. He said all this stuff.
Deportation.
That he's doing,
Tariffs.
I'm gonna make trade better with other countries and figure it out. And look at all these countries that are lining up. I guess we made a deal with Canada.
Really?
Yeah, like they'll figure
And just
it out.
2 weeks ago, they were saying that Canada's about to just excommunicate the United States.
They were going to just bypass us and just trade with Mexico and not us. And now they've come around and somehow, I mean, not on everything, but
to some degree,
You know,
there's
our dad came from Italy.
Mhm.
He's a classic immigrant. He had a suitcase in his hand. He knew no one.
one.
He knew no one. Came
Mhm.
here, landed in Cleveland because there was work. It was either at the time he was coming through New York. It was either Pittsburgh or Cleveland. There was jobs. There was, my dad passed away. Our dad passed away 9 years ago already. He came, when he was like 21, 22 years old or something like that. He had nothing. And he came here and he worked. And right before he was ill and passing away, the TV was playing about, Trump talking about, before he was elected, just before he was elected, about, we need to do better with the borders. We got to do this, and we got to let people come in here legally, and we got to make sure we're following these guidelines. And my dad sat there and said, if they're going to come here to this country, they should come through the right way. They should come through the process, and they shouldn't look for tons of hands out, because my dad felt like when he landed here and his feet were on this soil and he had the opportunity, he could work 1, 2, 3 jobs, support his family. That's all he wanted.
and send money back home.
Send money back home to bring the rest of his family. He just wanted the opportunity. He didn't want the government to take care of him. He didn't want the government to support him. He didn't look for freebies. They didn't have freebies back then. But
he wouldn't have been if it was.
He wouldn't have. That's just not what it was. He's like, I was here, and I am going to take advantage of this opportunity because it is an opportunity. This country's an opportunity, and that's the mentality that I think, if you're going to come here, you could do anything you want. You could start a business tomorrow with a pickup truck and start cutting grass, and before you know it, you could have 10 people working for you and have a great business. You can't do that all over the world,
Yeah. I mean, he's doing some good things, whether you like him as a person or you like how he talks or you like how or you don't like that he's just sometimes can be a little harsh and call people idiots and stuff. Yeah, I don't particularly care for that. But
I don't either.
There's just a list of things that
he's getting stuff done.
Done.
And not only that, maybe we can touch on. Maybe we just go right to this.
Yeah.
Let's just. And then we go to our next topic. But we were talking earlier, and we were saying, if you did not like Trump at all when he first got in, now put yourself in that mindset. I do not like Trump as a person. I don't like him as a president candidate. I don't like him as anything. I think it's going to be terrible. And you're seeing all these things that are happening. Trade deals, all this stuff. And then on top of this, the wars that he has either had a ceasefire signed or a war actually stopped. Right now they're doing the Putin,
they're working on
the Russia and Ukraine, which we'll hit on real quick. That bomber,
you saw that, right?
Flying over
Putin's head.
I have never felt more American.
Someone
I wanted to just. I was just
America.
Yeah, America.
That was like the goose.
When their limo was driving along all those jets parked there,
dude, it was like yes. Like,
but listen.
I would leave this. I would go back home and say, man, I don't think we want to mess with them.
Because someone said it was by chance that thing flew over. I'm like, no, that was perfectly timed.
Absolutely not.
They were walking down that red carpet.
Those planes were probably doing this, and as soon as they knew that they were going to be in the middle, boom! They got the call. Know what they're doing.
Yeah. They had that timed up.
5 houses down the street here, 10, 15 years ago. We moved in here 18 years ago. About 10 years ago, there was a neighbor of ours. He flew for the Air Force, the fighter jets, and all those flyovers. He was responsible. He'd go to Toledo. He'd load up in their jets. And he would do a flyby.
For the stadiums here?
For the stadiums.
In Cleveland.
Wow. In Cleveland, when the Browns were about to kick off.
So Toledo is at least a 2-hour drive.
2-hour drive. He took those planes with his crew. And we knew. He told us. And it was great. They'd come. They'd circle right past here. They'd do a loop. They'd go in. They would time it to the second.
For the national anthem.
The national anthem. And at the very tail end of that national anthem, they'd come right over top of the stadium. Boom, boom, boom. Fireworks going off. Blah, 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 blah. And it was like, to the second.
It's so amazing.
They would leave there, they would come through, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that bomber flying right over their
Oh, they
heads,
knew what they
coming
were
off
doing.
that red carpet or whatever.
and it was just great.
And Trump kind of just was like, I did that for you.
yeah, like check
That's
it.
I really
that's
wish
for you.
I really wish he said that's not even the biggest one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, you're not even looking at the force that we have.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just
So he has this meeting
Mhm.
in Alaska. People are like, oh, well, that shows that
He's loving
we're
us.
weak because we brought him here. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
no, people are threatening his life. And to that point, let's just go back really quick. People are saying that they hope that if Trump patrols DC,
Oh, yeah. He was going to go out and patrol.
he's going to go out and
DC.
patrol DC. They hope that something happens to him. They hope that
Oh, I hope that crime doesn't get to him. Like,
there should be no, you as a human being, you should never wish
bad on another hill.
bad on another human, especially
Except for Hitler.
okay, maybe Hitler, especially death and wanting something like that to happen.
Yeah.
That is just terrible. You shouldn't do that. But I've never felt more American. That was amazing. People are saying that he's buddy with Putin, all this stuff. This is bad. You see that there was Russia collusion all along. But look, we've been trying to be hard on Russia for 40 years. It's not worked. We got to do something
Yeah.
different.
Nobody else has wanted to sit down with Putin. Let's just sit down with him. And that's what I think Trump is trying to say.
So this morning,
Yeah.
there's a lifelong friend of mine. It just anything and everything that Trump does,
Is bad.
he's really mad about.
Really?
He spends his whole day and his whole life just like losing his mind over stuff that Trump's doing, right? This morning on Facebook, and I just screenshot it because figured, I just can't believe it. But it says 3.5 more years of waking up every morning, checking to hope that he's dead.
What?
It's insane. I
If you actually truly feel that way, do you post that?
Why, yes.
Do you even put
It's
that on
so-
Facebook?
well, that's the other thing.
And
I
then
don't-
the
I don't understand.
interesting thing is that'll sit there for a day or two, whatever, and it'll be like maybe one thumbs up, or then like 2 people will be like, I don't think you should say that, or that's kind of like wrong. But I sit to myself and think to myself, if he would have come in here and everything was failing miserably and everything was going, down the tubes and it was just horrible, maybe that thought process is a little bit easier to see, but
But not death.
I mean, it's just weird.
Yeah.
I mean, the crazy thing is the Finnish president has just come out and said that in the past 2 weeks, because of Trump, we have had more progress ending this war than in the past 3.5 years. I'm talking about Ukraine and Russia. And then when he meets with Putin, and everyone's like, well, he shouldn't be just meeting with Putin. Zelensky should be there. Then he says, okay, the first meeting is going to be with Putin. Let's just see what we can get. Then Zelensky wants to come and meet.
And we're not even talking like these are 3-day meetings. No, they had a whole entire day planned in Alaska. Dinner, lunch. They got there and left before lunch. Instantly was on the phones with other countries and other people. This wasn't like we're going to just have some fun and have a great day out. No, and then he's in the meeting with the UN, which you wanted to touch on. Right after that meeting with the UN, I think he even maybe stopped the meeting halfway. I got a call with Putin.
He did.
I'm going to have a call
He
with
left
Putin. I'm going to leave the meeting right now. I'm going to go talk to Putin.
So you're talking about, after he met with Putin, like 2 days later, he back in Washington, D.C., all these other countries, leaders come. Italy's Prime Minister of Great Britain and Finland, and all these came here, met with him. They were having a meeting, like you said, and then Trump did take a phone call. They said it was like an hour. He walked away from them. Was on the phone with Putin.
How many
Came
world
back-
leaders does he have in his room? And he's like, I'll be right back.
and there's a picture of him sitting. Have you seen this picture?
I've seen it. Have you seen this picture? Oh, so great.
This is his desk, the Oval Office desk. He's sitting here, and these are all that's the different leaders from all across the world sitting there. And so I looked it up. That is the most leaders foreign leaders in the Oval Office ever at one time. The last time was Kennedy, and he had a bunch of South American leaders there, and they were talking trade and talking different stuff. And they're sitting there like, they all come. They all came running like, let's get this figured out. And either one way or the other, they were like, we just want to be part of this. if Trump is going to finally make a deal, we want to be sitting there. We want to be seeing that we're there. Obviously, it shows that these other countries have some respect for him because they came to the Oval Office.
And not even that.
With Zelensky. Zelensky showed up with a suit on.
With a suit instead of his pajamas. And the reason why he was wearing pajamas is because he was trying to be this, I'm a war fatigued.
Pajamas.
Okay. But compared to his suit.
I know. I got you.
But compared to his suit, it looked like pajamas. I'm a war fatigued president or world leader. I can't be wearing a suit because I'm actively in combat. So there's a political reason and the statement he's trying to make with doing that. But the way, and then people were even joking with him. Oh, it looks like you wore a suit this time. And he's like, yeah, and I think you wore the same suit too. Like, so.
It was actually kind of funny though. The actual reporter that gave him a hard time about not wearing a suit said, hey, you look great. I want to tell you that you look great. You look good in that suit. And he's like, yeah, thank you. And Trump is like, I think he was the one that gave you a hard time before. He's like, I told him he looks great too. And then Zelensky's like, yeah, thank you. And then he goes, yeah, I'm wearing a suit. And I think you're wearing the same exact suit as last time. And everyone laughed, you know.
But it's different because last time he was in the Oval Office and it was not Oval, but he was in the United States and he was kind of being well, that was the whole issue there. He was trying to defend himself, he says. And he was being, but in a sense, he was being disrespectful. J.D. Vance kind of like didn't put him in his place and stuff like that. But so not only are we working towards this Russia and Ukraine war, possibly peace deal, however that's going to shake out,
and still actively trying to end the whole mess in Israel.
Yeah, but there has been a ceasefire in Israel and Iran. So we have Russia and Ukraine. We have Israel and Iran, which had a ceasefire after he put the hammer down on them with those bombs and bunkers, the 12-day war. Here's 4 other wars or conflicts that he's either completely stopped or had a ceasefire. Armenia and Azerbaijan, they had been fighting for decades, and no one was able to stop it. And it wasn't even like a real war. It was like over the border. Just people are dying. Trump goes, we trade a lot with both of you. If you want us to continue to trading with you at all for either country, I need you, both leaders, to get together, form a peace deal by yourself. I don't want to be involved, and then we'll reopen trade. I think within 2 days, a 30-year war was done. Peace deal was signed. Then you have India and Pakistan. That was about to be a pretty big thing. They were fighting over something. It was a potential to be something. Trump stepped in, stopped that. Another, I think this one might be, I think it was either 12 or 22 year long with the Dominican Republic of Congo and Rwanda. Went in there, stopped it. And then also Cambodia and Thailand. So
they were fighting for a while too. And the Cambodia is funny. 700 monks that don't speak broke their silence, came out and said, because of this peace that we've been hoping for in our country, we are announcing that we support Trump to get the peace prize.
The Nobel Peace Prize?
Nobel Peace
And
Prize.
the monks did that?
Yeah.
No way.
So Trump has even got, he's getting monks that don't speak to speak.
So about 5 or 6 years ago, I'm with Luca, my son, at the Marshalls or TJ Maxx in Strongsville. We're coming up to the checkout line. Young girl, like 20 years old, with an accent, just checking us out. I said, that's a nice accent you have. Where are you from? She was from the Ukraine. And she was just here, like not long, you know. And I said, that's wonderful. I go, how is it? She's like, it's absolutely wonderful. She's like, I cannot believe what the media makes the United States look like. I cannot believe how so many Americans complain about what they don't have or what they don't get from this country. She's like, go back to where I'm from.
I'm sorry, where was you from?
Ukraine.
Ukraine.
And she says, go back to where I'm from. Spend a month there. You will come back over here and you will
love everything.
Love every minute. And she's like, I send videos to my parents. She's like, I go and send videos of me walking in grocery stores where every shelf, everything, anything you want
fully stocked
is right there. If you have the funds to buy it, it's at your disposal. And she says, it's just amazing that being here, I feel like this is just an absolutely amazing opportunity and place to live. But she's like, it doesn't look like that sometimes, the way the media portrays it or the way everybody wants to complain. And she's like, I send videos back to my parents, and she's like, I'm telling them it's the most amazing opportunity. So it's just interesting how
Different perspectives.
and not everybody thinks that we're a mess. Not everybody thinks that, you know, we're a country falling apart, if they really know. Because there's, I mean,
Yeah.
we're free to do a lot.
And on top of that, he has gotten the countries in NATO to up their spending because that was one of his big things. Even last time he was president, that
Yeah, we're
spending all this money. You guys are not spending. And to his point, what part of NATO, which is a group of European countries that are worried about Russia? That's the whole point of NATO.
They're closer to Russia.
And
I mean,
they're closer.
we have Alaska and we have the ocean.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there was no. It's their problem, kind of.
Trump just wants peace, and he
yeah.
even said that. He said, "I just want peace." He said, "I want to go to heaven." Everybody's freaking out because he said he wants to go to heaven, and the Christians are saying, "Oh, he's trying to say if he works really hard, he's going to get to heaven." And then the atheists are saying, "Oh, this man he's so selfish. He's only thinking about himself." No, the dude just wants peace. Okay, however he wants to say it and however he wants to do it. I'm not going to worry about how he says it. I'm not going to look at his theology. I'm not going to do any of that. The guy wants peace. If you tell me he came into office and he was looking to start wars, it's the opposite. And once again, after this, how do you look at what he's been doing with less than a year, and not just go, man,
Let's see where this goes.
this is all right at least. I mean, more than
he took out Iran's nuclear capabilities, or at least knocked them back a lot of
years
without causing World War III. Like
Yeah.
everyone said that it was going to happen. And on top of that, there is a little bit of talk yesterday that maybe they might cut the interest rates, which would be good.
Wow.
And the stock market like that. And the Dow Jones in the past 6 months is up 5%. And the S&P in the past 6 months is up 8%.
Wow.
So let's just hope that all this keeps going in the good direction.
You know what? If he finishes the year out doing stuff like this, he can take the next 3 years off.
And if you don't think that he's doing a good job, and you think that all that he's doing is bad, comment and talk to us, and we
want to start up that conversation.
That would be
if
great.
If you don't like Trump, let us know.
And it's one thing to not like Trump. You can still not like Trump, but maybe some of the things he's doing is working.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to say.
Yeah, 100%.